CHGO White Sox. Welcome into the CHGO White Sox pregame show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Welcome into Studio B of our CHGO offices. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. That is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. And we are being produced today by none other than Stephen Nicholas. We also, a part of our team is Vinny Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. And he not only wrote one, but two articles for you yesterday. Rick Hahn spoke. You didn't think he would. We'll get to that. And Vinny recapped that with a little article over at allchgo.com. Not little. This man puts in, work into these articles. And also covering Liam Hendriks' return to the Sox yesterday, which is very, very exciting. Article talking about what the atmosphere was like there, what Liam felt, and what his wife Christy also felt, and what they went through that entire experience. We'll talk about that. Herb was there. We'll talk about the starting Sox, and we'll talk about the pitching matchup, Lucas Giolito versus Tyler Anderson. Shout out to everybody. Happy Tuesday, Dan, in the chat. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up button. Herb, you thought Rick Hahn wasn't going to speak.
I was apprehensive.
Do you feel like a fool?
No, I was apprehensive because he didn't speak the last homestand where he had the built-in excuse of Jose Abreu coming back, not wanting to step on those toes. This time I thought the same thing would happen. They had the built-in excuse of Liam Hendriks coming back. I'm not going to talk, but I'm glad that he spoke. Didn't really say anything that departed from what I thought he was going to say. He seemed like in a better mood and a better mind state than he was the time before, where he looked sullen and down on his luck before, even though the team is pretty much in the same spot that he left it at. I mean, they are playing better in May than they were in April, but we're still 12 games behind first place or behind 500 and not doing well. So I'm happy that he spoke. It's good that he has some accountability to answer to the media, which is answering to the fans. So thumbs up to Rick for doing that. His job.
And we'll cover it later, more in depth on what he had to say. And, he is doing his job. I wish he didn't show up because maybe that would be a bad sign for him continuing to do his job, because I think that both of us agree that he shouldn't have a job.
Correct.
But that's, layered.
Yes.
Thanks, Jerry Reinsdorf. That's messy. Thanks, Kenny Williams. It's not all Rick's fault.
No.
But anyways, we'll talk about that later. We'll also have some video and audio from Rick Hahn. As you mentioned, though, one of the reasons that he might not have spoke was because the day might have been devoted all towards Liam Hendriks and his return. It was in the 8th inning. Pedro Grifol mentioned that the 9th inning might be a little bit too much because he's probably going to be amped already, probably more than he would be for an actual save with this return. And it did seem like that was the case. A lot of balls thrown, a lot of missing the zone, but he still looked very healthy, and that's the main thing for somebody returning from. Let me check again. Oh yeah, cancer. Insane. What was it like to be there, Herb? And what feelings did you have in that moment of Liam coming out of the bullpen with his whole light show and song and everything?
I'm not that emotional, but I was close to there. I was because of. Cancer affects all of our lives. So if you don't know somebody or in your family that's had cancer or succumbed to it, you're lucky in that regard. I hope you don't have that, but most of us have had that, and so hearing the C word, it always is like, oh, here we go. This is gonna be a tough battle, and to have Liam just absolutely destroy cancer that quickly, not even destroy cancer, come back to play Major League Baseball within 5 months of the diagnosis. Well, after 5 months of him announcing the diagnosis is nothing short of miraculous. And so I had to be there yesterday because of Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, generational talents there. I had to see him for the first time, and it was well worth my money. They didn't really do anything. Got hit by a pitch, Shohei Ohtani. I was very sad when they got hit by that pitch. But then the cherry on top is Liam Hendriks coming back. Did the video before the game. Everybody was hyped up. People hadn't hit their seats, in full capacity yet, but most of the people who were there were just clapping the whole time. And then when he went out for the bullpen in the 5th, Gene Honda, I think, gives him another Liam Hendriks returning to the bullpen. And he's just walking to the bullpen and is giving a huge ovation there. And then we see him at the bottom of the 7th inning start warming up. And we're like, Liam's coming in. Holy hell, Liam's coming in. And the buzz started going around the stadium. And once he started, walking down the stairs to go into the gate to enter the field, people were just already hyped on 1,000 and just clapping, yelling, everything, every emotion. And then all the fans gave him a Liam, and he had to step off the mound real quick because the love there for the man was universal. And you saw nationwide that people were pouring in their well wishes and the amazed at Liam coming back. And the results of whatever he did, even if he pitched put zeros up there, would have been great. 2 runs, I don't give a damn. The number is immaterial. That's half the reason why we weren't mad that they actually lost the game to the Angels, because at that point the story was Liam, the him being back, and also that signifies a full healthy White Sox squad. Pretty much. I mean, Yasmani didn't play yesterday or today, but we finally have the core 5 back together and our core bullpen, for the most part, back together all together.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Liam obviously needs to get tuned up, and he talked about earning that spot. But once he feels like he's comfortable on the mound, I think that will easily be his spot, because that's what the White Sox bullpen has been missing, is that shutdown closer. And once he's feeling back up to that level, let's go. I mean, it's just going to be the Liam Hendriks ride, and we know he's an all-star, and we know he's one of the best closers in all of baseball, American League, National League. So very, very exciting for him to be back out there. Again, Vinny did a great job covering this moment in the day yesterday over at Guaranteed Rate Field. So make sure you're checking out allchgo.com and reading or following him on Twitter at Vinny Duber. I did read this from our guy Kevin, CHGO Weekly Report. Mm-hmm. Vinny had 3 of the top 10 articles, 2 of the top 5. So White Sox fans like reading Vinny's work. Who's surprised?
We appreciate that. Thank you very much, White Sox fans. And Vinny is a fantastic writer. He does something that none of us here in this room can ever do. Have the journalistic integrity and then also the writing skills to actually be a good writer.
Weaving narratives. I mean, the moment in this Liam piece where he mentions it's just Chicago said thanks Monday. Oh, God. I started tearing up. Oh, boy. Oh, man. I mean, that's a good writer right there. Mm-hmm. Just talk. It's already Liam. Right. The opening lines about how Liam hasn't cried from Christy, his wife, throughout this whole thing. And Liam talks about how it was emotional, the ovation, and then Vinny's like, "Oh, Chicago thanked him." I was like, "Oh God, in my deep soul." Anyways, shout out to Liam Hendriks. Very excited for him to be in this moment. Also, just saying, no pressure. We did have that episode on Sunday where we're like 95% sure he's coming back, and then we released the podcast, and no, there he is, came back. The White Sox have the lead tonight.
Yeah,
the 9th inning, top 9.
No.
You don't think so?
No, because one thing I think Pedro messed up is allowing Liam to pitch as many pitches that he did last night. It's the first time coming back.
That's true.
No matter what. It's the first, this is April for him. You're not putting your closer out for almost 30 pitches. And I don't think he can do back-to-back, especially his first 2 times coming out, that many pitches.
Yeah, 27 pitches yesterday.
27 pitches, yeah, that's way too much.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wouldn't... Otherwise, if he had like a 15-pitch inning or a 12-pitch inning, or like the other day, Kendall Graveman had a 7-pitch inning, oh, yeah, tonight would be the night I would have him back out. But no, I don't think he's going to be coming out tonight.
Fine.
But Wednesday to win the series, as LG starts tonight, wins that game, Wednesday afternoon, I could see him coming back out.
Let's go. All right, let's talk about today's game. Obviously, the White Sox lost last night, 6-4. Eloy Jimenez tried to do his best to make the score prettier and hit a solo shot in the 9th inning. The Sox couldn't do much to actually cap off that victory. Michael Kopech wasn't a F, right? I mean, he gave up 2 solo homers in the first inning, but was able to settle down. Or not 2 solos, but 2 homers in the first inning. And one was a 3-run shot, one was a solo shot, but they're back-to-back.
He was wild, for good reasons. I mean, Mike Trout's hard to pitch to, and he walked him, and then immediately didn't waste any pitches with Shohei Ohtani. Hit him in the foot. Smart. If you're going to walk him eventually, just do it early. And then he gave that home run to Drury, and then Thies, he got that solo shot. So from where he came from to where he was yesterday, and what, did he have 10 plus strikeouts yesterday? 10 strikeouts yesterday. So the result's good. execution early bad, but he fixed himself and had a all right for what it was outing. I would say probably a D in my rankings because of all the hard hits and the walks. They're back. That's the bugaboo.
He only had 2 walks yesterday, but in only 4 and a third innings.
Yeah,
not great.
It's not good.
And
not good. And wildness, like hit multiple people. Like it was not good. He was not Michael Kopech. And I don't know if it's the opponent or it's the atmosphere, but 2 different guys. Like he was getting hit hard yesterday.
Well,
like that's weird.
It doesn't. I don't know if it's that weird. It's. I mean, again, he threw 60 fastballs against the Royals and Guardians. I think the idea was, hey, let's hit the shit out of the fastball. I mean, it goes fast. Yeah. So if you got to put good swing on it, it'll go fast too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are strong. You ever see Romy Gonzalez's forearms?
What would you rather have? Would you rather get beat by Trout or Ohtani or get beat by Drury and Thies?
Drury and Thies.
Yeah. So he chose the right people, but I would have loved for him to actually battle Ohtani.
Well, that's the thing is like you would like him to not get hurt by the tough guys, but also like you got to execute at least to be where you're making it competitive. I mean, you just put him on with one single pitch. I mean, he just hitting them right away. So no, I agree. Yeah, Kopech throwing 60 fastballs again, 61% fastballs last night, and it got hit on average 100 miles per hour. On average,
rushed.
So yeah, it's
Absolutely.
tough. It was still an extremely like effective pitch. 34% called strike plus whiff percentage, 10 whiffs on 29 swings. Just the 5 balls that they put on play were crushed.
Who's the guy at the top of the order? First batter. He couldn't see him. I forgot who it was.
Mickey Moniak.
Mickey Moniak. Mickey Moniak could not see Michael Kopech early. I was like, all right, here we go. And then Mike Trout comes up.
That guy sees everyone well.
Son of a bitch.
Let's see the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. We'll start with the Angels. You flashing the Sox below. We'll go to the Angels first. They're leading off, right? And we're talking about Mike Trout getting this. Shohei Ohtani gets hit in the foot. Leading off for them, not Mickey Moniak. Taylor Ward.
He got traded to the White Sox already? Okay, no, he's actually good. Mickey Moniak is this year.
Batting second, Mike Trout in center field. Batting third, Shohei Ohtani at DH. Batting fourth, Hunter Renfroe in right field. He looks like Mike Trout.
Exactly like Mike Trout.
Not Mike Trout. Batting fifth, Brandon Drury at second base. Batting sixth, Jared Walsh at first base. Batting seventh, Gio Urshela. What a fella at third base. Batting eighth, Chad Wallach at catcher. And batting ninth, Raul Neto at shortstop.
That play that Raul Neto made at the end of the game. Did you see how much? I mean, he had a diving play where he was pretty much started behind second base, dove to his right, looked at third, pumped third, looked at first, took some time, relaxed, got a cup of coffee, went back to the dugout, came back, threw Yasmani out by 10 feet.
Well, there's your answer.
I was like, God damn, Yasmani.
I mean, unfortunately, he'd be able to do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
You'd be falling on your feet.
No, he wouldn't. Because I wouldn't
diving on a first base.
Because I wouldn't have hit that ball.
That's fair. Wallach. I really thought I was nailing the Chad Wallach pronunciation, but I wasn't.
I mean, you weren't old enough to remember Tim Wallach, so you would have had that.
Son of.
Is he?
Well, Chad is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, same guy. Let's go to the White Sox lineup. Who's Tim play for?
Tim used to play for the Montreal Expo and the Dodger, I believe. Montreal.
One more team.
57
games. It's a tough team.
The 9 Met.
No, 96.
And 96.
AL. You got one guess. One guess AL team. No,
Texas Rangers.
Right division, California Angels.
Okay. He stayed right there.
White Sox lineup is as follows. Leading off, Tim Anderson at shortstop. Batting second, Jake Berger at DH. Batting third, Luis Robert Jr. in center field. Batting fourth, Eloy Jimenez in right field. Shout out to Jared Willis. Jared Willis not only working hard, feeding his family, covering the Cubs and White Sox. True Big J journalist, just like our guy Vinny Duber.
And a teacher too.
Doing both sides. And a teacher, right. Putting in that work.
Yeah.
He brought in this lovely little
bobblehead. They didn't say hi, Mom. He said hola.
It's the Hi Mom talking bobblehead. And Jared was nice enough to bring this in. So shout out to Jared. You can follow him on Twitter at J Willis, Y's instead of I's. But shout out to Jared for giving us that. Eloy batting fourth, and he's playing where?
Right field. Here we go.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Here we go.
What can you do?
At least it's not Jake Berger at second base.
I mean, you saw Vinny post yesterday on his Twitter account that he was working. Jake Berger is working with Eddie Rodriguez yesterday at second base again. So that's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. It's going to look terrible as Vaughn in left field or Vaughn in right field because I don't think Jake has the lateral quickness to play second base. He has the speed, but I don't think he has the range. And he's never played second base really in his professional career, right? Or he's played in the minors.
He played a couple games in the minors.
Ugh.
I know he had at least one error in those games.
I heard it wasn't good.
Covering second, all those things you have to remember as a second baseman when the ball's hit to the left side of the infield.
And that's not a typo.
No, it's not a typo.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Andrew Vaughn did it once. Remember that?
Ugh. That was wasn't it late in the game, like in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning? Just put him in there.
That's your guy, Sean.
This is brutal. All right, batting 5th, Yohan Moncada at third base. Batting 6th, Andrew Vaughn at first base. Batting 7th, Andrew Benintendi in left field. Is he going to go deep?
No, it's a lefty. No.
I mean, hey, that first ball he hit yesterday, I mean, that's the best ball that he's hit to right field in a White Sox uniform.
It looked nice.
With a double.
Yeah.
That's a good. Batting 8th, Romy Gonzalez at second base. And batting 9th, Sebi Zavala at catcher. Romy stroking one out to left center.
2 games in a row.
Mercy.
Romy, don't trade him.
Don't trade him.
Don't trade Romy.
Trade Benintendi. Romy Gonzalez can play left field. All right, sorry.
I mean, anybody can play left field except for Andrew Vaughn.
He tried his damn best. I don't know about Loy Jimenez either. Let's talk about this as quickly and as brief and as less jinxy as we could possibly can. I'm going to knock on wood. It's a stressful topic. This man just got off, and I know it was the IL for having an appendectomy.
Yep.
But part of this was to get his legs back. Back from where? It was just the off season. I understand he played in the World Baseball Classic, but
He didn't play much.
spring training wasn't that tough. Vinnigan got bounced pretty early.
Yep.
I mean, was it maybe because he was playing right field in spring training?
It couldn't have been.
Maybe it was because, as we know, Eloy Jimenez, love him to death. Rick Hahn doesn't like to hear this. He is injury prone.
Very much so.
So I think it's really stupid and dumb, personally, for them to put Eloy Jimenez in right field. Your thoughts?
It's always because the team has a bad roster that they have to do dumb stuff like this and then play Jake Berger at second. So that's a given. Just if you can indulge me there, just I know that they suck at putting a roster together, but out of the options available to play right field, he would be my least pissed off version because I'm gonna always be pissed when Gavin Sheets is out there, even though he's been looking all right. But there's a time or two where he trips over himself, or he falls over the ball, or he misreads a ball. I think Eloy is all right outfielder where he can track the ball, catch the ball, knows what he's doing in the outfield. He's been playing outfield for a decent amount of time, understands how balls are hit off a right-hander's bat and what they will do in right field. They'll kind of slice, and the opposite for a left fielder going to left field. He knows those things and the swirling winds and guaranteed rate. So I think he knows the field better than the other options available, and you have to have him in the lineup because his bat, as you saw in the 9th inning, is deadly. So I would say that he has to play right field out of their options that they have, but I would want them never to play in the outfield because of the reason you just stated. He gets injured, and let's limit the times he gets injured by not having him play right field.
And you need him. I mean, that's the whole thing that we've talked about. When he's in the lineup and when they have all those 5 guys, they win baseball games. He's played less than 50% of the games since 2020. So I just don't understand, hey, let's put him in right field. Hey, he's never been able to show us that he's been able to play left field at a major league level. He hasn't played in right field since 2016 when he was, I think, literally a teenager. Let's try it now. Let's put him in right field. Herb, we haven't been able to figure out right field at all. We tried Nomar Mazara. We tried Adam Eaton. We didn't try Eloy Jimenez. That's the one thing we didn't
Let's do
try.
that.
So let's try it. We signed Andrew Benintendi to play an average left field and hit 0 home runs, and to move Eloy Jimenez to right field to maybe play 3 games there before before X happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope X doesn't happen. I hope we can prevent X from happening. But
it seems
frustrating.
Like the time in Toronto where him and Luis met on a couple balls where Eloy was pissed and he read him the riot act. That's the leadership I need. I need him to be mad at Luis Robert, or at least understand like the dynamic of him and Luis. Like, hey man, if I call you off and you don't say a damn thing, I'm gonna be there. So don't be here with me here. He's cognizant of his fragility. He's cognizant that his body doesn't hold up like other people's bodies do. So, hey, man, stay your ass over there. If you call the ball, I'll peel off, brother. I'm hoping that he is like that in right field all the time. Gets close to the wall, hey, man, let that hit the wall. Let that hit. I'm not jumping over this wall trying to catch this Vince Carter style.
Right, yeah.
Getting close to the netting, I ain't cutting this net again. I ain't going to be like that Christian Yelich grand slam. Or was it grand slam? Or was it just inside the park?
Inside the park
home run. Yeah, I ain't going to do that anymore. Hope he's learning his lessons from silly plays he's made in the outfield before.
Absolutely. Let's get into the pitching matchup, and we'll see if, maybe he'll have some adventures out there in right field tonight. On the bump for the White Sox, Lucas Giolito in 63 and a third innings pitched this year in 2023 has a 3.98 ERA, 61 hits allowed, 64 strikeouts, 19 walks, and a 1.10 ERA plus. Tyler Anderson recently brought over from Los Angeles. Well, that's confusing, but it was the blue team. This is the red team. 48 and 2/3 innings pitched, 4.81 ERA with the Angels so far, 53 hits allowed, 30 strikeouts, 23 walks, and a 92 ERA plus. It's a lefty on the bump. Should this lineup eat?
They should. I mean, the guy, you see his stats right there. He's not overly impressive. Doesn't strike out a lot of people, walks a ton of people. And so the White Sox should be using their more patient approach, letting the balls, do what they have to do. And Tyler Anderson is not going to be throwing a lot of things past you. So you have the ability to just sit there and allow him to have the pitches come to you and determine at a later time if it's good or bad. I just don't want the White Sox flailing at balls that are about to hit him with a back foot slider or a fastball coming in and then, dodging the ball and trying to swing at the same time. This team needs to get more patient, more selective, and when they get their pitch, actually do damage versus it. Last night, 3 home runs. Baby. Let's keep that up.
Yeah. 3 home runs, too, and you don't win. That's just a crying shame. That's frustrating. Let's move into Lucas versus some of these hitters so far. The one guys that have hurt him bad throughout his career, 16 plate appearances against, who else? Mike Trout.
Of course.
830 OPS for Trout. Jared Walsh in 11 plate appearances, a 919 OPS against Lucas. Taylor Ward, top of the lineup, 6 plate appearances. He's 2 for 6 with a walk, a 1167 OPS against Giolito. And then, of course, who else? Shohei Ohtani, 20 at-bats, 20 plate appearances, 6 hits, 2 homers, 7 Ks, but a 101 or a 101 or a 1050 OPS for Ohtani versus Giolito. I think that's called owning a guy.
It is, and Jared Walsh not having a good year, so let's not get him started tonight. But as with any time you're facing the Angels, those 2 guys at 2 and 3 are the guys you got to get out. I mean, Hunter Renfroe's no slouch. Neither is Brandon Drury. So they have some more people that are helping him out this year, and Gio Urshela is doing well enough. So it's a tough lineup. It's a really tough lineup. If Gio can be LG instead of the guy that showed up last game, I hope he's not the guy that showed up last game, because this team will punish you and make it hurt, and it could be a 10-run game early, quick. Absolutely. And Lucas Giolito, some of his bugaboos are early in the game, first inning, where he doesn't get his pitches over, or he's getting too many pitches over and balls are flying over the fence. And then eventually finds his stuff and his rhythm and goes 5-6 innings that looks like Lucas Giolito vintage form. But he needs to start that game that way. Whatever he has, like I think Michael Kopech has this too, that first inning bugaboo, act like it's first inning in the bullpen. Get that done. Throw those pitches like it's a first inning pitch. and then act like you're going out to the mound. It's the second inning, and you're good to go.
Tyler Anderson on the bump. Blank name says White Sox better murder Anderson tonight. Hopefully we get the correct one because that might mean a bad night for me personally if we're just murdering Anderson.
Just indiscriminate Andersons. Yeah. Sean, Tim,
watch out.
Tyler,
yeah, watch out, folks.
Lonnie, she's already gone. I think. Rest in peace.
Okay.
No, she isn't. She isn't gone.
Who?
Lonnie Anderson, WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh,
the wife of Burt Reynolds.
I know the song. I've never seen the show.
Yeah. No one did.
No one has?
I mean, I didn't even see it, and it was on during my time.
Mercy.
And there's a guy down there named Herb, too.
You didn't watch it?
And he worked in radio.
Mercy.
Weird.
Tyler Anderson, done pretty well against the White Sox. Andrew Vaughn, 0 for 5. Yohan Moncada, 0 for 3. Luis Robert, 0 for 2. Tim Anderson, 1 for 3. Jake Berger, 1 for 2. And then Yasmani Grandal, thank God he's on the team, 1 for 7. 4 walks.
Mm-hmm. That's why we like him.
And that one hits a homer. So, hey.
He's also not starting today.
So enjoy that bench.
Enjoy that bench. Yeah, not starting,
I mean,
but
it makes sense. Lucas is pitching. They want those guys
Sebi
to be together.
But
and Sebi caught yesterday with Michael Kopech. Didn't go as well.
If Tyler Anderson, is still in the game in the 7th, 8th inning, maybe they pinch hit.
Yeah, it's over. If Tyler Anderson's in the game in 7th, 8th inning, it's over. White Sox are losing this game.
You're going with Sebi, though, for your click to pick.
I am. I'm going for somebody that has played a lot, played enough, where this is his opportunity to stay in the lineup a little bit more consistently than the times where he's just catching and being a personal catcher to Lucas, or now the personal catcher to Michael Kopech because he pitched well for it with him being the guy. So if he wants to stay in the lineup a little bit more, because we know Yaz is going to have nicks and bruises and back problems and knee problems, so Sebi needs to step up. I mean, I think they've caught about the equal amount of games this year, which is very odd for a backup catcher to catch this much. But I think Sebi, this is his opportunity to attack a pitcher that is not that great.
Well, and I think part of it too is just protecting Grandal and all the flare-ups that he has or hasn't had. Because again, he's like 34 with a ton of back injuries, which is just great for this team. Vinny is going with Jake Berger for his click to pick. 1 for 2 against Anderson, so there's a track record. I'm on Andrew Vaughn. I know he's 0 for 5 against Tyler Anderson, but he's had some really nice swings. Starting with that Tigers series, hitting a homer yesterday. I think Anderson, although he's posed problems before, he's been a worse pitcher this year, and righties have just hit him better out of the past 3 years. Highest ISO and highest average distance, Anderson against right-handed batters. So I like Vaughn, and even if we're getting into the betting category, Vaughn over 1.5 total bases at plus 115, and our guy Hooper Boy is saying I need a 3-1-2 to calm my nerves. Herb's enjoying one right now. It's his everyday beer.
And we love you too, Hooper Boy.
We do love you, Hooper Boy. And he says, do you think Ohtani will take it easy on this game? Plus 310 for him to homer. And folks, that's what I like tonight. Shohei Ohtani to hit a homer. Wouldn't even mind a little Taylor Ward play as well.
I mean, we said it. Lucas sometimes gives a homer in the first inning.
You said it, and I was like, "Oh, that's
if it happens, it happens." And I would not be surprised if it happens. But if Lucas sets him down 1, 2, 3, man, here we go.
And hey, White Sox had 3 homers yesterday, and it didn't kill him or didn't win him the game. No. So you can survive one solo shot. So maybe it's just one.
No, Tyler Anderson pitched well last year. He got his career resurrected last year with the Dodgers.
He just got paid like $44 million, $33 million, whatever.
He was a journeyman before that, where he was just like everybody was tagging him, getting loose on him.
He's like if Rich Hill was younger. And I guess
it's a good one.
I mean, yeah. I mean, not exactly. I mean, it doesn't have the same sweeping curve, but whatever.
63 miles per hour.
Fred's saying Ohtani's going to take Lucas to the concourse tonight. Will it go further or farther than Yordan Alvarez's homer earlier this year off Jimmy Lambert?
I think shorter because Lucas doesn't provide the fastball that Jimmy Lambert does.
Shohei Ohtani's pretty strong.
I don't think Shohei's as strong as Yordan Alvarez. I don't think anybody's as strong as Yordan Alvarez except for Mr. Judge.
Warm as well. So
exactly. It is very warm outside. That's
Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at @Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Stephen Nicholas produced this day. Shout out to Stephen. Thank you very much. And shout out to our lovely chat. Like name, Fred, Hooper Boy 5, Dan, everybody. Appreciate you. make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button on your way out. We'll join you for a post-game show that will include Vinny Duber from Guaranteed Rate Field, so we'll be able to get to chat with Vinny and some Rick Hahn video and audio.
Did we predict if we're going to win or not?
We did not. Do you want to give your prediction?
I think the White Sox are going to lose tonight. Lucas is going to deal, but they're going to not get enough runs off of Anderson because it's the White Sox. I think they're going to lose 5-3.
Do my teeth look cleaner?
Oh, you went to the dentist today?
Yeah, I do.
It looks nice.
You didn't say anything.
I mean, I don't really look at your teeth.
You should.
Yeah, they do look clean. Did you have just a regular cleaning?
My girl Joanne cleaned my
Not
teeth.
a deep clean, just a regular cleaning?
Just a clean.
That's nice.
You know? She
put a little
said,
tray in there and put a little fluoride on your teeth too?
she does. She uses a little electric toothbrush. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she does a good job.
She takes it easy on you
Shout out Joanne.
Good job, Joanne.
Anyways, I say, see, I want to be better.
I wish that I would say the White Sox win because that'd be great.
Usually when I say the White Sox win, they lose.
Yeah.
So let's say Angels win 100-1. So Angels win 100-1. That's my actual prediction. I'm going to go bet that correct score on DraftKings Sportsbook. Go watch the game on Fubo, and if you don't have a trial or a way to watch, you can watch the Sox on NBC Sports Chicago and sign up with a 7-day free trial in the link in the description. We'll talk to you after the game for White Sox postgame when they lose 100-1 to the Angels. Goodbye.